And we're live! Welcome to Anime Club. I'm Kris, and here's my co-host Pheebs. And today, I'm fudging this up. And today we've got a very
You look
special
like you've
guest.
forgotten your own name then.
I did. I forgot I was hosting it.
I
I
was like,
was
oh
on
no,
Alicia.
we're about to watch a man have a stroke.
You go, hello, my name's Pheebs. Oh, wait, no.
Oh. Oh. Oh no. Paul's got a Papa John advert.
Oh,
But yeah, anyway, welcome to Anime Club. My name is Kris, and that is Phoebe. And today we're joined by a very special guest, the nerdyupnorth #1 Dragon Ball Z fan. We've took the mick out of him for so long in the Discord, called him #2, but I think it's time we give him the recognition that he deserves. So this week only, I'm just giving him a little stamp.
I half expected you to be like, we've got Phoebs. Like, and I was like, we've got our anime expert, Kris. Introduce us to our anime expert.
no, genuinely, Chris was like, he is the #1 Dragon Ball fan, right? I guess we should just like acknowledge that.
Yeah.
That's all I ever wanted.
The amount of times you've told us about the three-eyed witch people, it's unreal. It was obviously Yamcha's descendants.
That's how it works, right?
You and Jake just purposely do this just to get us.
Oh.
Yeah.
But what have I watched this week, Phoebe?
Oh, well, obviously, here at Anime Club, we're all about trying new things, but we couldn't have Lee back for a second time and not do something Dragon Ball related. So I went online and I asked people, as in, I went to Reddit. And
Yeah.
I was like, what is the best Dragon Ball film? And there were two that came up as good standalone choices that like can be watched outside of the series. And one of them was Broly. And then the other was what we watched this week, which was Dragon Ball Z Fusion Reborn.
I wonder which Broly they meant. Do they mean the new one? Because the first one it's Broly, he's a baby and he just cries because... Oh, he gets angry because Goku's crying next to him in the cot. And then he remembers that when he's like 20 years old, and he's like, Kakarot! And that's the whole plot of the film. Goku cried as a baby, so he's angry.
This is why we've got Leon,
Yeah.
the Dragon Ball expert.
Exactly. And to be fair, that's probably about as much plot as this film had. But this
Yeah.
film isn't about plot. And I don't think any of us are really watching Dragon Ball for the plot. We're watching it for the badass fight scenes.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's all I got out from it. Because this is actually my first time watching this. I've only watched a little bit of Dragon Ball Z, and I caught it on Cartoon Network when it was just like I might miss a few nights. I don't watch them in order. I might miss a month, whatever. It just depends on if I can watch it. So a lot of this as a first time viewer was a bit confusing because I didn't understand that much. Like, who's this dictator, bro?
If only you had a friend who did like summaries of the different arcs of Dragon Ball
I
on
know.
YouTube in like nice bite-sized little videos.
Do you know any, Lee?
It's fire.
But before we get into the snacks, should we get into what it's about?
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, the film starts out basically there's this little demon teenager kid called Oni who's listening to music, gets distracted, unleashes all this dirty hell ghost milk, and gets covered in it. He transforms into like a little massive nipple baby called Janemba.
Yep.
Goku and what's he called? Pecan? What race is he, by the way?
You don't really know. He looks
Right.
like a Namek, but he's not.
He's like a smooth Namekian, isn't he?
Yeah.
Basically, they go to check out what's happening, and there's Janemba, and they start chinning him. Stuff happens.
Yeah. That's it.
Oh, you're missing the most important part, though.
What? Which part?
Chibi Hitler.
Oh yeah. Well, apparently the only podcasts and shows on Nerdy Up North with me and Liam mention Hitler, so I didn't want it to be associated with us, so I was gonna just skip over it a little bit, but yeah, it's fine.
You feel like you've covered that subject enough.
This is the second time in less than a month that we've brought this
Yeah,
guy
I
up.
know, it's weird, isn't
Yeah.
it? But to be
Yeah.
fair, I picked this. You guys didn't pick this, but I didn't know that Hitler was going to be randomly in it, fighting children, as if he wasn't a bad enough guy already.
Blonde hair, blue
Now
eyed
he's
children,
going
which he
off.
comments on.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he
so-
was for a little bit, doesn't he?
but yeah, Sammy's asking if I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan. I do like it, but I'm not like a hardcore fan. I don't know. Like, I've watched the Freezer arc, and that's about it. So I'm just one of them
That is
posers.
really good. Yeah, the Frasier arc's great. I really also like the Android, the Cell arc.
Yeah.
Puff Cell.
Oh yeah, I've seen Cell arc as well.
Yeah, that was great.
But should we go into the snacks?
Yeah.
So what you got today, Pheebs?
Well, very little. I had to go. I had to go to a coffee shop, an unnamed, an unnamed franchised coffee shop, because I literally have no food because it's payday.
Schmarbox, or...
No, not Schmalbach, Schmettermonge, and I've got some green tea with peach, and I also have a little chocolate mousse thing. I did have some cranberries in yogurt, but those are gone. Those were dinner. And now I've got like a little pot of chocolate mousse. So that's my snacks. It's going to be very wet for me this week. Take that as you will. What about you, Lee? What have you got? Because you went all out this week.
Bought 24 packs of tamales, and I love them. Make them rain.
I'd love to see that happen in slow-mo.
Oh yeah, it was like a tamale bukkake, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Bow chicka wow wow. Tamale.
Well, I've got some
What about you, Kris?
wasabi rice crackers, which I accidentally licked one before, and they're quite spicy, so that's gonna be fun. And I put it in a vote in the Discord before if I should have some lumpy juice or marble drink, and lumpy juice won outright. So I've got some lychee. Look at all the nice little lumps in there.
I'm disappointed, mind. Like,
Why?
they're nice. I was expecting you to have, like, curdled milk or something.
Isn't that just cheese?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind cheese.
What
Yeah.
I find strange about the lumpy drink is that they seem to be like weirdly suspended in the drink, which makes me wonder what the consistency of the drink and the lumps are.
Yeah. Gelatinous, maybe.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of thick water?
No.
Have you not? Oh, it's just stuff for old people that can't
I
have
feel like-
water properly, and it's just like
Oh.
it's kind of like
I-
gelatinous water, lumpy water. It's weird, but
How is that easier to consume than water? The notoriously easy thing to consume.
I think it's more throat purchase or something. I don't know.
Ooh. I'm so confused. Half the time the problem is Kris has me on so often and I'm so gullible that I'm slowly kind of starting to doubt every word that comes out of his mouth because I feel like that is safer. No, what do you think? Your face says no.
Yeah. So
Did
does
you
my
get a lump?
body. Yeah, I got a little lump. Little lychee.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like light cheese. How are your hot tamales?
Amazing. Just
Yeah.
tastes like red aftershock.
Yeah.
How many boxes have you had so far
9.
today?
Almost. Oh, no, almost 10.
That seems like a
swallow
lot.
the lumps. I'm not gaslighting. Becca's saying that I'm gaslighting you about the thick water and the throat purchase comments. It's true.
Well,
Look it up. Just
and
Google
I think that's like me as well.
old people throat rule 34.
I
No.
don't know whether you're gagging at what you've just drank or what you've just said.
Oh,
A little bit both.
oh. But anyway, back to the film. What do you guys think of it? Going into it, because you've both seen it before, haven't you?
Yeah. I think it's fine. It's not the best anime film I've ever seen. Right? It's not even the best Dragon Ball that I've seen. But it is a good fun. It is a good laugh. There's also something about that period of Dragon Ball, the color palette is just everything from my dreams. Like every sky is like orange and pink and like vapor wavy. You know, everything in that when they're in the hells fighting the nipple baby. All of that is like very jelly bean fantastic color, and I think because of that it's fun. It can't not be fun when it's like that brightly colored and jazzy. But while we were watching it, Lee said something that I was like, oh yeah, that is the thing that this film needs, which is it doesn't have that final big awesome fight.
Yeah.
Like it feels like it leads up to a moment that then never delivers. It's like a really good joke without the punchline. So for that like, so you know, I think it's good but not the best.
Yeah.
It's got everything that a Dragon Ball film needs, but it's very short and it's better than the other films. Like all the other Dragon Ball movies are a bit shit. Like what's just stupid. It's like badly drawn or badly animated. The voice acting is not too good in some of the earlier ones. But this one, it's got like the Earth. It's got the afterlife. So like you see all of the like god stuff going on. It's got Goku and Vegeta with the like sort of rivalry thing and then working together. It's got fusion. It's got other characters actually involved instead of it just being the Goku show. Like, we get to see things on Earth with like Goten and Trunks actually doing stuff. Not so much any of the other characters. Like, I don't know where Tien, Yamcha, even Piccolo. Piccolo's pretty absent in it. Well, Gohan is like the Great Seer Man with Videl. Even I was going to say even Hercule, isn't it?
Yeah, we have a Hercule moment.
Jake's favorite character, isn't it? Hercule.
He's actually, joking aside, he is actually one of my favorite characters because I feel like he never fails to be a good guy, but in the worst possible way.
Yeah.
I can't
He's
keep the
like-
joke up too long. He's called Mr. Satan. He's not Hercule.
Who's Mr. Satan?
Yeah, what are you on about?
Greatest martial arts champion. Oh.
But doesn't he make
I
a
love
comment
him.
when he's
I
fighting
love
the zombies and he's like, oh, finally an enemy that I can actually beat?
Yeah.
And he's like,
And
I
I've
need to
been,
do this where someone else can see me. Where are all the news cameras?
and I've been rewatching Dragon Ball Super recently. And having a great time. And in like the very beginning of that, he basically just takes credit for saving the Earth, having done nothing. And it's like, but then he does give Goku the money, right? So like, he does do the right thing. He's not a bad guy, but he just always does it in the worst way.
But like Goku and the others have this understanding now of just we don't want the spotlight. We just want to fight each other and see who's the best. But then let Mr. Satan win at the end.
Yeah.
Unless it's Android 18 and then she'll let him peer to win.
But do you think there could have been anything more to this film to make it better? Is there anything you would have liked to have seen more of? Because I know what I
think
wanted.
Lee kept asking for more Yamcha, which is weird.
You know, I don't hate Yamcha. He's a
So,
good character, but
He's like a baseball ruffian or something.
yeah, he is now.
But I really wanted to see what, because basically the the dead came to life on Earth, and there were zombies, and all of the past villains and baddies came back to life. I kind of wanted to see more fights of that on that side, because there was a little bit with Frieza. There's the Ginyu Force who ran away straight away. Even the frog from Namek was there. But I was looking at characters in the background while we were watching it, and I was like, "Who's that weird buff Greek-looking bloke?" And you were like, "Oh yeah, it's this guy from 5 BC," and I was like, "Why wasn't he fighting? He's just standing there."
You were also weirdly drawn to background characters in films, which
Yeah.
makes endlessly entertaining because you notice the characters no one else is noticing. But I have also realised that you are drawn to buff blonde men. Specifically, because it was the same with Flash Gordon.
B-roll with his bent nose.
Zero. He had a dodgy nose, but he was very buff and very blonde.
And one of the people that comes up out of the background when Frieza's like attack is BoJack from about 2 films before, BoJack Unbound.
Yeah,
And
the horseman.
No. But it takes
That's
Super
what I
Saiyan
thought.
2 Gohan to defeat him. So this guy's clearly stronger than Frieza.
Yeah.
But the background taking orders from Frieza, and it's like, I mean, Frieza is mint. He's like iconic, but still, I wouldn't be putting up with that if I was BoJack.
But this comes back to my theory about Dragon Ball with the most powerful characters not being like physically strong. Because I said this to you guys before, I think Bulma is the most powerful character in the Dragon Ball universe, hands down. Forget.
I mean, even Ultra Instinct Goku can't even dodge up punches.
Right, exactly. What she did, and also she's like got the kind of most real power of all, which is she's the richest woman on Earth.
Yeah, isn't her dad the richest person on Earth?
I think they say, or at least by the time Super comes around, it actually says that she's the richest woman on Earth.
Right.
I mean, her dad's not a woman, so they could both be the richest of their gender. That is true.
So, who was your favourite character in this film, and what did you think of Jamamba as well? Jamamba. Janemba.
Who's your favourite character, Lee? And tell us why it's Vegeta.
It is Vegeta.
Yeah,
It's always Vegeta. If Vegeta's an option, it's him.
Why though?
He's definitely an option, and I think he has a good showing in this film.
I don't know. I'm always attracted to the edgelord of like any anime, like Zorro. Roronoa Zorro it's like they're just the like sort of like
The Antonio
leaders the fuck
Banderas
alone.
one.
Antonio Banderas. No, I don't know. It's just it's always the like sort of like silent, strong, bit of a dick kind of characters that I just love.
Yeah, isn't there a different? Because we watched the English version, the dub, but isn't it in the Japanese version? They do it differently with the fusion dance, where in the English dub he refuses to do it, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not doing that." But in the Japanese dub, he's like, "I don't know how to do that," and they've got to try to figure it out.
Oh, there's something nice about a strong man admitting a vulnerability. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I prefer the Japanese interpretation in that moment.
Oh yeah, and then he does his dodgy finger, and he's like, "Oh no, now we're turning into the little fat guy."
Yeah, so that's my favourite character in the film. Is Fat Fusion.
Slip of the finger, and you turn fat.
Fat Fusion Gogeta.
Do you know what? I'd probably got to agree with that when he fought in Janemba's face. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah.
Probably gonna have to rewatch this with Finley without the dictator guy in, because I really can't be bothered to explain the Third Reich to a 5-year-old.
Don't just. You can say it's not that guy. He's
Just an
wearing
evil guy.
purple. It's fine.
Charlie
Yeah.
Chapman, yeah. Oh, but like, what was, since you have watched it all before, what was your first intro into Dragon Ball?
Oh, because I was waiting for Lee. Go for it.
Oh, so I watched it the first day that it ever came onto Cartoon Network because my gran had cable. It's weird to say that someone in this country had cable, but it was like Telewest or something like that, or Virgin. I don't know. But
Is it
I would go around hers during the holidays. I think it was the 6 weeks holidays it was on, and I just watched Cartoon Network every day, all day. And then one day this came on, and it was like the Raditz saga, and I was just like, oh my god, aliens, and they shoot beams of light from the hands, and they can fly, and they fight, and they've got spiky hair, and they're really cool. I'm gonna watch this forever. This is my life now.
Oh,
That's
little
why
baby Lee.
one
Yeah,
day
that's-
I'll get a stamp next to my name.
Yeah.
The height of my achievement. Yeah, that's cute. I also was a Toonami Cartoon Network Dragon Ball fan, and I think it was after school. And my earliest memory of it is me and my siblings sitting and watching it, and like I remember it being the episode where so Dragon Ball first series Dragon Ball, and it's where he goes and like he's in Bulma's camper van, and he like walks in on her in the bath, and he's like, definitely not, those aren't balls, definitely not Dragon Balls. Oh, it's Yamcha who does that outside, and he just like has a meltdown because he saw her boobs. And I remember laughing my head off. And I think to this day, if I were to say to my siblings, balls, definitely not Dragon Balls, they would know what I was talking about. Like it became like an iconic phrase in our house. And then also watching all of the Namekian saga. And like one of my siblings was obsessed with Piccolo, like was just like,
Right.
just that was their character.
Why would they choose Piccolo over like everyone else?
I don't know, but I kind of love it that they did.
Yeah.
I think cool alien, cool serious edgelord, a little bit edgelord alien. You know,
Yeah.
what's not
Good
to like
dad.
about Piccolo? Much better dad than Goku. Oh, is it daddy issues? No. Our dad's fine. But yeah, and I remember watching that and thinking, oh yeah, I love this. I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What was yours?
And having like the super like catch up Sundays and stuff.
see, I can't remember because I used to come home and watch Cartoon. Was it on at 6 o'clock or something, or 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
On Cartoon Network. I used to come home, maybe catch the odd episode. I used to like it, but I could never watch it episodically in order. So I'd kind of have to fill in the gaps in my head, like why they're on a different planet now. I don't know, lost at time. But one of my friends used to love it, and he used to import the videos from Japan, which sounds great. But this was like very early 2000s, and there wasn't a dub for it, and there wasn't any subs. So we would go around and we'd watch it, and we'd just be watching it in Japanese and not know what's going on anyway. So
It might have been better than getting a dub around then. Like, so
Yeah, maybe.
and it's like when they were coming out on like Cartoon Network and stuff, it was like Goku, and it's like, hey, it's me, Goku, and it was like just this nice, happy, calm voice. But I remember going and buying some DVDs of the movies, and I don't know what dub it is, but it was like, hello, my name is Goku, I am here to save the Earth. And I was like, that doesn't fit.
That's not my Goku.
Terrible.
yeah,
Whatever that voice
Yeah.
acting is, they need shot.
When I was looking for versions to watch, I very specifically searched out the Toonami translation. Yeah, because I was like, I want that hit of nostalgia to come
Yeah.
with this experience. Yeah. Oh, and you asked what I thought of Big Nipple Baby.
Yeah. I mean, he does have a super transformation, doesn't he? But as a nipple baby, what did you think of him? Because he's like a happy-go-lucky baby, isn't he?
Yeah, hilarious. And I love how a lot of the time in Dragon Ball Z, like sometimes you have people beating up each other and like having like badass fights, but then also like the hardest fights are often against the most ridiculous beings. Because if you think of like Boo,
Yeah.
for example, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, and the same for this.
But this
And
is
I
set,
love how the villains go through that transformation. Yeah.
this is set in the middle of the Boo saga. Um,
Yeah.
Usually they don't really reference anything that's gone on apart from maybe like in the Cooler film they've mentioned that like Frieza's dead and that's why Coolers came to fight Goku, his brother. But in this, so Goku's in the afterlife,
Yeah.
and then Vegeta also shows up in the afterlife, and Goku's talking to Janemba, saying like, "Oh, nobody's pushed us this far since I fought Majin Buu." So Majin Buu does exist in this version of events, but Goku ended up showing the kids how to fuse, and then went back after fighting Majin Buu as well to the other world. Vegeta then went to fight Majin Buu after that, blew himself up, and died, and came to the afterlife. And then, about a couple of days later, Goku gets brought back to life by the old Kai on the planet of the Kais. So there's only like a very couple of days where there could have been some piece where Mr. Satan is having baths with Boo,
Yeah.
and those couple of days is where should be set.
Right.
And
Which is
Janemba also does
weird, 'cause
have like,
where's Boo?
yeah, but Janemba, I think they usually base like the enemies off what's going on in the anime at the point as well. So obviously Janemba is like a sort of like chubby round thing, and like he's got them nipple holes which are sort of like Majin Buu's holes on his head. I think that
Yeah.
might be where that design choice came from. And then he slims down into Super Janemba, kind of like Super Buu.
Which is like, yeah.
Smaller
Yeah,
the
exactly.
villain, the harder they are, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that what you tell people in alleyways at night
Yeah.
when you're doing your street fights?
I normally do it with a shakier voice, though. Stronger the villain.
It's the small ones you have to worry about.
I was born in the darkness.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
No,
yeah, like,
I would say it's a laugh.
what about you? What did you think of Janemba as a villain?
Me?
No, Lee, because you've already answered.
Me. Yeah, I was going to say.
I mean, once he turns into Super Janemba, that design is badass. Like he looks so cool, and you know that Goku and Vegeta are in for a hard time just with the way he looks. And his powers are amazing as well. He's got like reality distorting powers where he can like kind of change things that he wants, and he like turns into those cubes and whooshes away. He makes portals. He's definitely stronger than Boo. I know, like people online say that he's not as strong as Boo, but he wears out Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And Super Saiyan 3 Goku fought Boo and was like, I could have killed him if I wanted.
Yeah.
He couldn't beat Janemba.
Yeah, but and also, again, sometimes it's not about. I think the fights in Dragon Ball, sometimes it's not necessarily. It's never how strong you are; it's how fast you are. So if you've got a skill that literally allows you to teleport and create portals, that's like seems to be the secret for winning a Dragon Ball fight. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also think the design, like when he powers up into like his final form, he looks like a weird merger between Cell and Boo. He's like their love child because he's got like the kind of plating that you see on Cell, but with the squishy bubblegum candy styling of tough guy Boo.
Yeah.
He's got them, he's got the kind of horn things, but I think they come from what's he called, like Ollie or whatever that little ogre was, because he's got
Yeah,
like horns, doesn't he? I think that's just them of like growing
yeah,
as
yeah,
part
yeah.
of
That's like a
the-
hint of his like real person underneath the
Yeah.
mutation. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And I
like my own lore, I like to think that there's all of this like cool metal music playing throughout this whole like fight. I like to think that that's just that little kid still has his headphones on, and
Yeah.
that's where the music's coming from.
Yes, and there's something kind of. I was about to say there's something kind of brilliant about this. The whole disaster is caused by a guy who's just jamming out too hard.
Yeah.
He's just having too much fun listening to his music and like being in the vibe.
I know at the start I called it dirty hell ghost milk, but what is actually that purple stuff that in the canisters, and what's it for?
Cleansing souls.
What's
Yeah,
that?
so no, it's the waste product of souls.
What is
of
that waste
thousands
product?
of years of souls. Yeah, that's
It
what
hasn't worked.
that's what your man, the king of the checkout, says.
It hasn't done anything though. So all the like evil souls are meant to go into this machine to be cleansed and purified, sort of thing, on the way to hell.
Soul.
But Hitler comes back, doesn't he? And he's still like, oh, let's kill everyone, take over the world. Oh, look, blue-eyed, blonde-haired children, let's recruit them. And it's like, did you go through that machine, mate?
But is in allowing the soul gunk and all of the cleansing to kind of be undone? Does that then, because that is kind of what undoes them staying in the underworld as well. So maybe that is also what undoes their like cleansing of. But also, if you're cleansing souls. So here's the thing. Going back a step before that, at the beginning you see people being split off, like you have good guys, bad guys.
Yeah.
So like they're not really cleansing the souls at all, are they? They're just like categorizing them.
So I didn't know if they were cleaning the bad ones, right, and then they atone for all the bad things that they've done.
Oh, maybe.
So they're getting punished as good people. I don't know, for some sort of sick thrills. But I thought the reason why like Hitler came back as he is because he's been waiting in the queue that long. Because we both know like Goku and whoever dies in the Z Fighters, they're all pushed to the front of the queue. They don't care. They just see little sperm ghosts and just bash them to the side. So he could have been waiting.
I thought you were going to say something bad there, but
What did you think I was going to say?
I'm not saying it on. I'll tell you after. But honestly, it's too bad to say. So, on like the weirdest part of any of this afterlife stuff is right when Goku first dies in like episode 4 or something of Dragon Ball Z. I know I'm going back quite a bit here, but he goes up to King Yama and they're like, "Oh, we're allowing you to keep your body because of all your heroic deeds." And he goes to the afterlife, and then later on in the series, you see like a Greek guy, Olubu, and like Pycon. They're all heroes of their worlds. They've been allowed to keep their bodies because they've done so much good in their life. Where the fuck is Mother Teresa?
Wasn't she a nasty
Well, she's
person?
not going to be at a fighting pit, though, is she, Lee?
Why wasn't she in the
She
tournament?
might not be at the fighting pit. She might be in another part with her body. Like they are very specifically in like a gladiatorial fighting area. I think can't imagine Mother Teresa coming up with like a rosary as a nunchuck.
But people like that clearly have done good in their lives. Are they allowed to keep their bodies? And where are they in this afterlife? Because all the way through Dragon Ball, we only ever see people that have been fighting in the afterlife.
That's true. And also Vegeta very specifically is like, I don't know where sorry I'm late, I didn't know where my body was. That's how he arrives on the scene. Yeah. Which implies that not everyone who's fighting gets to keep their body as well.
Yeah.
And arguably Vegeta's done just as much by the time he dies, he's done just as much good as Goku, right?
Doesn't Yamcha keep his body?
Sacrificed. Yeah. I mean, Yamcha sort of like died doing good. He was like fighting the Cybermen.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Fighting?
Trying to protect her.
Didn't he just get a bear hug off one?
He sort of beat it, but then got blown up. So it's like he was trying to protect the Earth.
So it's not good deeds. It's just trying your best. You can have your body. Do your best.
Oh, that's nice. Everyone can have a go.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe it's like a kind of Valhalla system where it's only warriors.
Not Mother Teresa's.
Even Jake's like, does Lee think Mother
There's
Teresa?
not enough glory in her death. It's the Klingon system. Kapla.
But Jake, I don't think that Mother Teresa saved the Earth from intergalactic evil. It's just, did she not do enough good in her life where they've allowed her to keep her body?
No. According to Toriyama, no.
I heard a rumor that Mother Teresa used to kick puppies and orphans and that as well. So...
Don't do it. Not on Anime Club. You save that stuff for Job Grumps.
Oh. But yeah, anyway.
Even I'm trying.
Lee knows the boundaries. Can you not be more like Lee, Kris?
Oh, follow Lee's example. Anyway, what did you think of this as a standalone film? Would you recommend this as a first entryway into Dragon Ball? With it being a standalone film, kind of. And
Yeah.
No, and actually, if I was gonna, if I was gonna recommend Dragon Ball, I'd be like, go watch some Dragon Ball Z specifically. I'd be like, you can go back and watch Dragon Ball later once you're hooked. But if you want peak Dragon Ball, go Z. Maybe do a dabble in some GT. That would be my recommendation.
This movie's only 50 minutes long, and it's like I said earlier on. It's got everything in that you expect to be in Dragon Ball. It's got like the transformations, even the villains transform into like stronger versions of themselves. Like, this isn't even my final form. It's got Frieza in as well.
Yeah, that's true.
It's got like all of the classic Dragon Ball tropes in this, and it's got like some humor in of like kids fighting Nazis and stuff like that. So for like a very short period of like your time, you can go and watch this film and see exactly what Dragon Ball is about, and decide, is this something that I might like long term?
So it's like a taster, like a little amuse-bouche.
Because how difficult is it to go, oh, what's the best saga of Dragon Ball? Oh, well, it's clearly the Frieza saga. Go and watch that. And you're watching Goku for like 20 episodes go, ah!
I can't even see him move. They say that so many times. I love it. Just watch Krillin have a panic attack.
But actually, speaking of screaming, I found a fact on the internet that might not be true, so if it's not, Lee, tell us. But this is meant to be the longest time Sean Schemmel has screamed as Goku for about 50 seconds.
I don't know. It can't be.
Where?
There's the Super Saiyan 3 transformation in the Buu saga. That scream is about 2 minutes long.
So this is what it said on the internet.
It's still not as good as the Japanese voice actor has done, like the woman, the old lady that plays Goku. Like, I'm sure she passed out doing one of Goku's screams, like she did it for that long.
Oh my god, power.
How long does it take for a screaming old woman to pass out? Not like normally, on average.
I think it was her anyway. Do you know what? Jake is in the comments. He will probably know that fact, to be fair.
I think we need a Jake fact check.
I can't remember who. Someone definitely passed out doing Goku's scream because it was that long and that intense.
Oh.
How long do you think you could scream for?
With pleasure?
About 2 minutes.
For money. Because I assume she got paid. About 2 minutes.
I don't know, because you can scream while breathing in, can't you? So you could kind of thing.
Oh, what, like Tenacious D inward singing?
Yeah,
I
inward singing.
I will never fucking stop the fucking singing.
Oh no. I'm not gonna be my friend.
Well, potentially forever.
Yeah, maybe. Well, that is a thing of like the cyclical breathing, isn't it? Of there's some monks who learn continuous chanting.
I'm not a monk though. I've just got a receding hairline. But with you seeing other films as well, where would this rank in your top favourite films?
5. Number 5.
Mm.
So top is Resurrection of Frieza, then Broly, then Battle of Gods, then I'm sure Wrath of the Dragon is the Tapion film, which I love that. And then this.
Are they all like 50 minutes long as well?
Maybe it's a little bit longer for some of the others. Like maybe it's like an hour and 10 minutes max, I would say. Although actually the Resurrection of Frieza is like an hour and a half long.
Oh.
We've had a fact check from Jake in the chat, and he says Schemmel says he passed out recording Dimer, apparently. Laughy face, I think he's a bullshitter though.
Oh.
Sean Schemmel's a dick. I'm sorry that I'm bringing this like toxicity to Anime Club.
Whoa!
Is a knob.
Here on Anime Hot Take, #1 Dragon Ball fan.
Why is he a knob? What's he
I
doing?
don't want to really say it on here. Like, there's stuff that that you know as well. Like people that we know have had trouble with them. But yeah, and also he absolutely slated Team 4-Star for the Dragon Ball Abridged.
Right.
And he was like, I can't be doing this. This isn't their property. All of that. Christopher Sabat, Vegeta was just like, oh guys, this is amazing. Can I have a voice acting role with you? And he's on Dragon Ball Abridged as just some random character.
That's how you do it, to be fair.
That's fun. Yeah, that's the vibe. Another reason why Vegeta is Lee's favourite.
Love Christopher Sabat. He's amazing.
Do you know what it is? I loved his voice acting in this. I was a bit shaky with Goku and the rest of the cast, but like Vegeta was absolutely spot on. And then when they fused and they did the voice layering, that was amazing. I'm doing this. Sorry.
Yeah.
Fused.
When they fused.
Fused. Physically and mentally.
Earlier I wanted to go when they fused, and then I realised that I couldn't because one of our friend's children was, and I had to go. At the last minute I went fused. I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, we're live!
It's fine, I'll edit it out.
If it's women fusing, do they have to like have the fingers like that? And
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
It's
this is Anime Club, not top.
What would your fusion dance be, Lee?
I don't know. Probably a bit of twerking and doing the dad finger guns or something like that.
I could see you back.
And then you put the finger guns together like that.
See, I would want do you know the outro video that I've replaced with me press up videos? I would want that.
Do you know what I would want? The
What?
Macarena. And I just want to hear that noise of and then just like everyone slowly gets hypnotic into the Macarena. A whole line of fusion of 90s disco. 90s school disco kids.
Then everyone goes inside each other.
I'm suddenly regretting the 90s school kids.
So,
I didn't know that's where you were going to take it.
Jake's asking which nun members would make the best fusions and what would you call them? And the first thing that popped in my head was Paul Lee, but then I've just got the Rocky IV robot stuck in my head going, "Happy birthday, Polly."
I had Paulie Shaw in my head. You know, the Weasel or whatever he's called.
I didn't have a voice in my head, but what I did have was that you would almost certainly a poorly fusion would be just like beating everyone with shoes.
Yeah.
Not throwing them, just like using them as like a kind of like bitch slapper.
Biting my fingers off and that.
Yeah. That's a good question. What would make the best fusions?
I think Kris and Sarah's husband Mark? Would make a good
Cock.
fusion. Cock.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I also think
Oh no!
I think the Want Girls would make a great fusion. I think it would be too powerful, too pure for this world.
What we can't have.
Sekka. That sounds like a Dragon Ball character, right? Sekka?
We cannot have Jake Paul.
We can't have Jake Paul. There's already one and it's enough. Yeah. Joel sounds like some sort of
Isn't that a vape?
80s villain. Yeah, or like a kind of vape. Joel.
I've actually lost my.
Yeah. I mean, if Kris and I fused, we would be called Piss. For sure.
Yes! Go piss!
Go Piss. Yeah.
Would we end up like the nipple baby?
Oh, for sure, there'd be a lot of nipple stuff going on. Also, can you imagine 2 bad pancreases in one body?
I'm just
He's
imagining
so
Kris
bad.
with boobs.
Cursed.
Oh, but like the Kree is 2 bad livers, isn't it?
Yeah. I imagine Creed almost being like a kind of like dad-bodied dad-bodied gunslinger.
Like the one of the from the Olympics, the Turkish guy.
Yeah. That vibe. Yeah.
My brain right now is just kind of like switching your heads over, and all I can see is Chris's head on Phoebe's body, and it's
You
just
look
not.
amazing with my boobs.
He does.
Look at my
Right,
body.
I'm gonna-
Never
I'm
been
gonna go now. I need to be
never
alone.
never paid so much attention to Kris before.
McCreeb.
McCreeb.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only other fact I found out about this was the dictator scenes were removed in most countries.
Fair.
I kind of get
We
that.
should make this. We'd also make this film like 30 minutes long, which is basically just a Dragon Ball episode at that point.
Was it released in Germany?
Yeah, but not with that scene.
Yeah.
It's 10 minutes long.
I'm surprised there was an English dub with those scenes, to be honest. But here we are.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I think there's anything else on Dragon Ball Fusion Reborn? Anything else you want to add?
No, I think I'm
No.
Oh,
Other than you have
fun fighting against the shield bubble things. He's just like, you stinking piece of crap, or whatever.
Oh yes.
That's his whole job in the film.
exhausted.
Until he
Yeah,
shows
'cause-
up and he's like, you guys fuse, I'll keep this guy distracted. And he just gets immediately defeated. Like, oh wow.
Yeah, because he proper does him dirty in this. Everyone does. Who is it? Peacon.
Icon. Yeah.
Pycon, yeah. Because like at the start, you see this big baby thing, and then Goku's like, "Ooh, I'm going to fight it. Oh, you go and you go over there and help them, and I'll go and chin that and test me strength against it. It'll be fine." But weren't they originally fighting in the start of the film in a some sort of competition?
Yeah, they were in the View of the World tournament. In the finals.
Yeah. When I was googling stuff about this, there was loads of people angry because they referred to Goku as a previous winner, and they're like, "Oh no, it ended in a draw or something."
Yeah, the last time they fought, they both kind of jumped out, or they hit each other out of the arena, and they both touched their feet on the ceiling, which Grand Kai considers out of bounds.
Right.
But they touched it at the same time, so it's like, well, you both lose. But it was just him trying to get out of the reward for winning was him teaching you a martial arts lesson. But he's like, oh god, these guys are way too strong for me. I'm going to need to train for like 1,000 years before I can do this. So he just told him that there was no winner.
Fair enough.
Fair.
But, yeah. I think that's all I've got to say on Dragon Ball Z Fusion Reborn.
That's great. What are we going to do next week?
Next week, we've got another special guest, and we're going to do Mashley, Magic and Muscles. Where I think next week, Phoebe actually agreed to do all my press-ups, so 100 press-ups.
No, I didn't. Not in a million years. No, if you watch to the end of the video, you'll see Chris's weekly press-ups. 90 of which, if he actually did them, and there's part of me that's not sure he did.
I did.
He did today.
I did about an hour ago.
Today.
Do you know what's awkward as well? I've had Finley, Molly, and the dog watching us while I'm struggling to do press-ups on the front room floor. So
that's Chris real brave.
Why would I need a wee? I'm good. But yeah, Mashley next week with a special guest. Do you know what's coming up next week for Nerdy Up North?
You've got a list. I know that
I've got a memory.
This Sunday on the Sunday pod, we've got we love the 80s.
What we love about the 80s.
Yeah, what we love about the 80s. Paul and Sammy are going for a whole decade, rather than a single film or franchise. We've got Captain Janeway with the Ladies of Wonk coming up next Saturday. Top Grumps, who are doing
the Velocipasta.
Or dinosaur.
Velocipasta, that was it.
Yeah. It's about a priest that turns into a velociraptor.
Yeah.
Amazing special effects.
Your Everyday Thing, which is a film you can watch free on YouTube, which I think is always a good place to start.
It's a stamp of quality, really, I would say.
Yeah, I think so. It's the people's film.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you say Monsters on Monday? We've got the Ian White interview as well.
Oh yeah, Monsters on Monday doing Ian White. Yeah. So stick around, subscribe if you haven't, give us a comment, give us a like, and there's plenty to see, and it's all beautiful stuff. And of course, check out the Twitch where Jake does his streaming, and we get the Rumble cast as well.
Yes.
And
anyway,
thank you for coming. Before we sign off, we do have to say thank you for giving us your time, because we know you're a busy man. You are the #1 Dragon Ball fan, and there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. Yeah. Which also includes keeping us all in line in the Discord. So thank you for giving us your time, sir.
I mean, I did have to ask Jake for a fact check, so.
Oh, sorry. One second.
Oh no, he's gonna. I've already seen what this is.
Oh, the stamp.
I'll claim that back later.
You can claim it back. It's an ever-changing award.
It's an ever-changing award. It's like a constant rivals to lovers to enemies to friends thing. Just like Dragon Ball
with Jake and make Lake and be the ultimate Dragon Ball fan.
Oh my god, there'd be so much hair stuff. Can you imagine?
Oh yeah.
I'm imagining on top Lee, but with Jake's party at the back.
Well, I didn't realise there was it was a Yamcha and Krillin fusion where it just looks like Yamcha but with a really bad hairline.
Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying that I didn't realise there was a fusion. But yeah, anyway. Yeah.
Oh, that was Tien and Yamcha, I think, wasn't it?
Oh, Tien.
That was Tien and Yamcha, yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Don't be an anime, be a top anime. Bye.